Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of KaneSaid. Now I'm your host, Kane Bradfield. Y'all know my slogan: the fame is free, but the grind costs, baby. Yo, listen. I got a special guest in the house, man. I got a dog in the house, man. We're gonna talk that talk. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Man, look, man, let people know who you are.
Hey there, I'm Melissa Gliddon, aka known as Coach Bill in the LaGrange area. I'm a nuclear engineer by day, softball coach by night.
Wow,
And
Zers.
I also volunteer coach a 12U travel softball team in the area.
What's the name?
Melissa Gliddon.
No. The travel team.
Oh, it's West Georgia Nightmare.
West Georgia Nightmares, yo. We're gonna get to that though. So first of all, man, thank you for coming.
Of course.
I appreciate you being here. I know we've been trying to do this for a little minute, but now we're here. You know what I'm saying? First of all, y'all, let me say something. Before we get into
Tell the story.
Yeah. Before we get into the story of her life, let me tell you what just happened. They just came to my house and pulled me out of some mud. My truck was stuck. So you talking about some dedication and some friendship. That's it, man. Came to my house and got me out the mud. So I'm going to tell y'all about the story later. But, yeah, insane. But we're here now. We're here now.
Clockwork family.
Come on, baby. It's all it is, man. So, okay, listen, though, man. So, first of all, where you from, dog? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Town.
yeah.
Hold it down.
Yeah. Okay, so give me that story, man. Give me your story growing up in that H-town.
Okay, so it's weird because I'm actually Georgia born.
Okay.
But my dad, when he was about 19, went to drafting school. And
Okay.
the oil industry was booming. And so he moved to Houston where oil was big. And got really good job fresh out of high school.
What?
And so my mom and him were high school sweethearts.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they grew up in South Cobb County.
Familiar?
Yeah,
Yep.
they're like Austell, I think, Austell, Georgia. And so they moved to Texas and then moved back to Georgia, had me, and then moved back to Texas.
Wow.
So I'm Georgia born, Texas raised.
Yeah.
I grew up in the suburbs.
Okay.
Nothing cool. I didn't
Nothing
grow
cool.
up in the hood.
Yeah, I bet say you got no hood story now?
No.
Come on. Houston, Texas, baby.
But I'm really grateful for growing up there because my school life was very diverse.
Okay.
Whereas, like, living here in a small town, you're the minority.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I was at, I'm the minority. Yeah, like, all my softball teams growing up, all my friends growing up, like, nobody was really white.
Wow. So you got that thing just being minority vibes out there.
It was fun, though.
Right. So what was the name of the school, the high school?
Travis, William B. Travis.
William B.
High School,
Travis,
which
okay.
was in Richmond, Texas, which is southwest Houston.
So that tap into this softball. Like, so you in Texas, you know what I mean, in high school playing softball, man. Come on, give me that story, man.
Okay, so I was freshman. We'll just go to freshman year.
Okay.
I did not have any intentions of making varsity because if you grew up in a bigger athletic state or if you're in a metro area, say like you live closer to Atlanta, then more people means more competition.
For sure.
So as a freshman, I was going in with hopes to be a varsity player, but didn't really bank on it.
Okay.
Right? Made it.
Freshman year.
Starting left fielder.
Get out of here,
Lead
dog.
off batter.
How was that, though? How was it, though?
I will tell you, my head was huge.
I bet you on top of the world.
Yes, and I'm a natural right-handed hitter, fielder, but they have a thing in softball called slapping. And I was very tiny. I'm only 5 foot and I'm 30 years old. So you can imagine how small I was at 14.
Right.
Probably when I hit my
Shout out to the 5-footers, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't help that my mom's 4'11".
Oh, snap.
She didn't help me out.
Right.
Yeah, I just learned how to bat left-handed at 12, 13 years old. So going into high school, you're 14. I had just switched, and so it felt very fresh to me. And I was mostly scared about that. Is my bat going to be good enough to play at the top high school level? And I guess it was. You made it at night as a freshman. As a freshman. So listen, though, now earlier you mentioned about, being a minority. Like, so, okay, so your squad was mostly black, though? Hispanic, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, Houston's full of variety, not just Mexican. There's more than Mexican. I hate when people say that.
Right.
Like I had people that their origins from Colombia or Dominican, Puerto Rican, Mexico. So. Yeah.
But okay, now I'm tapping that for a second. You know, I mean, but how was that though? You know how to?
Oh, I loved it.
Really?
That's where you want to have the sleepovers.
Yeah.
They have the best food.
Really grubbing good, huh? That good grub, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so like playing. Well, fast forward, but when I started playing slow pitch after I was done with high school ball and college ball.
Yeah.
They nicknamed me Weta, which basically means white girl.
Shut up, dog. You lie. So you embraced that thing, right? Yeah. What was it again? Weta?
Weta.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you're a boy, it's Weto.
So that's funny though. So so now, but how did you get to college though? You know what I mean? I know you started as a freshman, but did your skills, your stat increase as time went on? Like, give me that.
What's crazy is I was a pitcher and an outfielder most of my life.
Okay.
I mean, I played from 5 years old through high school.
Okay.
And so I was dead set, okay, I'm just going to be an outfielder because when I got about 16, so maybe my sophomore year of high school, I had so many people in my ear telling me, you're too small, you'll never be a collegiate pitcher. And so I really let that get in my head.
Okay.
And because there were bigger girls on my high school team or on my travel ball team that pitched, I was like, yeah, nobody's going to pick me up because I don't have this speed like they do. But I wish I wouldn't have talked myself out of that because I was such a good spinner. I had a curveball, I had a screwball, I had a drop ball, I had a rise ball, I had a changeup. And speed isn't everything, but I know that now as a coach, and so that's one thing I try to instill. But, yeah, so high school freshman year, I'm playing left field.
Okay.
But there's a junior in front of me on shortstop.
You want to call it out right now? No, I got his plan, dog. Go ahead.
Shout out KJ.
Yeah.
But she was a phenomenal athlete. She was a multi-sport athlete. So I remember, if I remember right, she played soccer and softball.
Okay.
She was really good. She was really fast, but she kept making errors. And we didn't have the greatest high school coach. He was very hot-headed.
Yeah.
To put it lightly.
Okay.
And he pulled her off.
Oh, man.
And was trying other people. People probably had never even played shortstop before. And then eventually, guess whose turn it becomes?
Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
I did phenomenal, and I never moved.
Really? Didn't even look back no more?
Never played infield.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And ended up getting recruited as an outfielder and an infielder for college softball. But how it works with softball is nobody's really coming to your high school games. Like, high school ball is fine. It's good. It's extra practice.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, University of Georgia's not sitting in the stands at your random Monday night softball game.
Right.
When they can go to a showcase travel ball tournament where there's hundreds of teams and get their eyes on a lot of different kids in one area.
So, I mean, it's about time.
Yeah. So that's really where the recruiting process for me came from, was travel ball.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. I played on a organization called Katie Cruisers when I hit 14. So as soon as I hit 14, I was playing 18U ball because...
Oh, off the rip.
Well, you're playing all ages when you're in high school anyway. So
right.
You might as well play against
you might well do it now, yeah.
If you're good enough to make the team, just stick with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was blessed. My team wasn't the greatest. I don't remember what our win-loss record was, but we had phenomenal coaches in the recruiting process that put us at really good showcases in Dallas, and we even went to one in Vegas one year when I was a junior. So I got a lot of looks. I got a lot of coaching on how to get recruited from our recruiting coach. So I had lots of options. I actually was going to go, my number one pick was Dartmouth.
Really? I'm familiar with it.
Ivy League school.
Yeah.
I was a smarty pants.
Well, I was about to say, man, you must have had that brain game on point.
I could not make the SAT score to get in.
What was it? Like,
I can't remember.
Do you remember?
The scoring was different when... I think it's different now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's
I think I needed Nobody make fun of me. But I think I needed a 1700 or something.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I had like major test anxiety and
Yeah.
could only make like a 1500. And I took it 3 or 4 times and I was like, you know what? I guess this just ain't meant for me.
Man, I ain't gonna tell you what I made an SAT then. You made 15. Give me that 15. I wouldn't have went to JUCO.
But
Like, what in the
I think
world?
ours used to be on a 2400 scale, and I think now theirs is like on a 1600.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But yeah, so Dartmouth out the bag.
Okay. Okay.
And so another one was, I think it was called a Ouachita Baptist.
Okay.
Can't remember where that was. I had a really good chance, but it turned out the coach really liked transfers. He liked JUCO kids. So he wanted somebody that already had a little bit of experience, and he pulled people from junior college. And so I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then our pitching coach on our travel ball team was like, hey, I'm also a pitching coach for a college team near East Texas.
Okay.
Which is hour and a half from Dallas,
Okay.
Texas. You should come out. So she let all the seniors, like, hey, y'all should just come try out. Crushed it.
Killed
I get a call from Coach Jay, and she's like, hey, kid, we really like you. I want to offer you a partial scholarship. But remembering what my recruiting coach told me, don't accept the first offer you get. Hey, Coach, I really appreciate the offer. Give me a few days to think on it, and I'll get back to you.
But deep down, you was like,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't call her back the next day.
Right.
She calls me.
Oh, playing a little check. I mean, little chess action. Yeah.
She calls me back with a full scholarship.
Shut your mouth.
2 years, full ride.
Wow. You had to jump on it then.
It
was showtime then.
And you know, kids then, kids now, you just hear about that D1 dream, dream.
Yep.
That D1 dream is awesome, but think about the percentage of kids that are playing and the percent that will actually make it.
Come on, man.
Elite D1.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
It's rare.
It's very rare.
And then I tell kids this. One thing that will help is being have a prospect body. Typically,
it really is.
you feel me?
Wasn't gonna happen for me.
You feel me? So you know what I mean. So
realistic.
Yeah.
And so, if any advice I could give, as a coach now, any kind of scholarship is amazing.
Right.
And you should be very grateful for it. And I'm so glad I took that JUCO route. So that's kind of the backstory on my.
Yeah, but listen though, but I'm a back for a minute though. You know what I'm saying? So we're not back, but just continue. So when you got to college though, you know what I'm saying? Give me some of them stories, dog. Now not your party stories. I'm talking about your.
Still was not a partier.
Really?
I was such a good girl.
Oh, hold on. Is it TV talk or real talk?
Real talk.
Okay.
You can ask anybody that knew me back then. I was a scaredy cat. Like, I was not going to do anything to get in trouble.
That's good though.
Wild Bill didn't hit the scene until about 21.
Okay. Wow, B, I love it.
But my freshman year was freaking crazy.
I bet.
It was a huge shell shock. Like I was talking to you before walking in here about how I put my girls through workouts recently.
Yeah.
And they look like they want to murder me.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to playing conditioning games. But I'm like, it's time to step it up a little bit. Well, freshman year, you find out about Hell Week. Coach sends you a summer workout to do before you even arrive on campus. And you must follow it. And like I said, I was a big rule follower, so I did it. And I was already in pretty good shape back then too. I was very skinny. I didn't really have any muscle on me. We didn't have any kind of weight program at my high school, and they really didn't let women's athletics do any kind of weight program either. But I get there, and you have Hell Week. So this is before anybody's even on campus. It's just mostly the athletics. And she divided us into teams, Team Red, Team Black.
Okay.
And what you do is in the morning you've got conditioning. At lunchtime we're going to do a challenge between Team Red and Team Black. And then in the afternoon each evening you're doing an inter squad. Wow. So you think it's bad when you're playing softball now and there's, just 2 people sitting the bench because you got a roster of 11. You go to college, there's a roster of 20. There's a whole other team on the bench. It's competitive.
So those are the ones who's making the chance. Yeah.
So But yeah, that Hell Week was a wake up.
It was I bet. I mean, give me some stuff y'all did, dog.
Okay, so like my sophomore year, the first conditioning of the week, I still remember it just because I hate long distance running. A 2-mile run for time.
Oh my gosh.
And my friend Marcy at the time, who was on my team, she was the right fielder. She ate before she went, and I'm big on like if I'm up early, I'm not eating before running.
Right, I'm with that. Yep.
She's puking.
While she's running,
she keeps going.
Shut your mouth.
A dog.
Wow. Wow.
I could never.
Just throw it up and still get it in. Wow. Yeah.
And then you can, do your summer workouts because then coach can tell who didn't work out over summer and you are painfully behind everybody else. And you're not going to even have a remotely starting chance at a spot on the field because only 9 can start.
Right. Now that's.
And I'll tell you the most traumatizing thing that happened to me my freshman year. So the challenge is, it would be something different for Team Red versus Team Black.
Okay.
One year we had, like one day you're going to wheelbarrow race in the sand.
To my old school wheelbarrow. Yeah.
You flip a tire together. But it's a heavy tire. Like it's a big tire. It takes like 2, 3, 4 people to flip it.
Dang it.
And you do that like as a race to see who wins.
So I'm saying though,
like
but if you lose, is there more punishment or?
No,
it's just you lost.
You win a prize at the end. I didn't know that my freshman year.
Yeah.
But then sophomore year, you go in better prepared.
Right. Because you know it's some good on the other end.
I remember another one was we went to the football field and we do a snake race in the bleachers.
I hate those. I know what you're talking about. Yes, ma'am.
Down and back, and then you tag your teammate, next person goes. Brutal. We've done snakes on the football field.
I'm about to say the football field snake. Yes.
We did that. But the worst one to me is that I'm not a strong swimmer.
Oh, man,
I'm not a strong swimmer.
I agree.
And I'm very short. And we have an Olympic-sized pool at the rec where my junior college was.
Okay.
And so you knew one day of the week was going to be swimming of some sort. You don't know when that challenge was going to be.
Right.
She'll text you in the morning and be like, hey, meet me at the pool at X amount of time. The race was, you had to hold like a 45 or a 25, depending on your size and your strength. Like, I was little, so I probably had to do the 25.
Okay.
But you had to hold over your head and walk half the pool. By the time I'm not even halfway, Kane, I'm underwater.
I'm about to say now, because if you fight, that 6 going to get you now.
And then I have to pass it off and then swim to the other side of the pool, come back to that point, pick up the weight, and walk back.
Ooh.
I basically had a panic attack.
I bet.
When I had to, like, try to hand off that weight because my arms were jello and I'm underwater.
So I mean, I'm about to say, what the coach is saying though?
She's actually really nice about it because she noticed and she just let another one of my teammates like tag in and finish it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
He probably like, hold on.
And then they had
it
like
can't
a
end like this.
water competition at the end. No, I'm out. Just go ahead. I'll take that loss.
See, I'm gonna be real though. All the water stuff, I'm over it too, dog. Like I can't. No, man.
I love the beach, and I'm good. You know. Beyond that, like if I have to actually physically swim, I might have a panic attack.
For real, dog. Yo, I'm tripping right now because I'm be honest. You ain't gonna find too many white people can't swim, dog. Like what in the world? For real?
I grew up in H-Town.
I'm about to say what it is. That's what it is, man. Yo, because I know in that water, I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay in that 3.5.
Yeah.
Just in case something go wrong.
I'm super lucky that my husband is a fantastic swimmer.
Okay.
And very strong and very tall.
So he can help you out in case something. Yeah. For sure. I feel that though.
But yeah, that's what Hell Week was like. And then she would switch it up every evening. You'd be in a different spot or on a different team playing inter-squad against each other. You'd play a game, like a softball game. She's looking to see what works.
Right.
I didn't know that at the time. You know, you're just trying to show off.
Yeah.
But it could also be like, do these two mesh well together at shortstop and second base?
Dang, bro. No. So she had a plan behind all that madness she was doing.
She's studying us for a week to see who's going to really be my starters in the fall. And fall's off season for softball.
Right.
So you still play some in college, but your real season kicks off in the spring.
Yeah.
It's mostly like get in shape time.
Wow. So yo, now I'm gonna flip for a minute. Did you say nuclear engineer?
Nuclear engineer. engineer.
First of all, dog, what is that? I mean, are you messing with bombs and stuff? Like, I mean,
No.
what is that, dog?
Okay, so my degree is in mechanical engineering.
Okay.
But I work in a nuclear division now. But that's why I got my mechanical engineering degree, because it's kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. Only reason, to be completely honest, why I picked engineering is I was great at math.
Okay.
I was great at physics. I hated biology, so I knew I wasn't going to go the medical route.
Okay.
And I looked up the salaries, and I knew it was going to pay good.
Yeah, so you're like, hey, let's go over here. Let's go over here.
And so I was going to get most of my school paid for, so I might
Right.
as well get it.
Yo, I'm saying, though, I mean, what is something you do, though? Like,
yeah. You want me to backtrack from the start of my career to like where I am?
I mean, yeah, heck yeah, give me something, because I'm really trying to understand this.
Okay, so most people hate engineers if they're in the construction industry, so I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. I respect construction workers. Okay. I know you guys know more practically than I do, and that's why I rely on you guys for advice to help me do my job right. Okay, so got my degree. First job out of school, I was a sales engineer for Fastenal.
Okay.
Which, I'm going to be completely honest, was the most boring job of my life.
Really?
Yes. It was for fasteners, so nuts, bolts, screws.
Dang.
Whatever. I worked there for 6 months. But basically what I had to do was do house calls to businesses. Like, say they had some type of bolt strip out or fail. They wanted me to analyze it and see how we could fix it and maybe give them a different thing that would help them out. Quit, okay?
Right. I'm out. I'm out, guys.
To a structural job at a shipyard in Mississippi.
Okay.
Where I worked for the Navy, basically, but I wasn't in the Navy. And so I did analysis on a computer for how so a ship moves, right?
Right.
And there's equipment on there, even like refrigerators, because people live on those boats in the Navy. But all of it has to be bolted down. Okay. It can't slide around because the ship hits seas that are really rough.
Right, and make
everything.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And so I did the analysis to make sure that any piece of equipment that bolting down foundation would hold.
Dang.
No matter what it went through.
Dang. So so I mean, do you go in the room and just what I mean, lock in? Like, what do you do?
No,
like,
it's actually on the computer.
Okay.
So they have designers. Designers will send me a markup of how they've drawn the structure to hold down the piece of equipment. I run that piece of equipment and their design through a software to see, will it actually function? Or is it going to fail? And if it does fail, when I run it, then I make changes to the design, like, do I make it a little bit thicker? We use a different grade bolt to hold it down? And then once you've done it for a while, you kind of get the hang of it. Like, oh, I got to just fix this real quick. And boom, it passes. You send back your changes to the designer, let them know, hey, I had to make this thicker. I had to do this with the bolts. And then they make sure it goes out in the field and gets put in that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo, I ain't gonna front, dog. When you said nuclear, man, I was imagining you like in like a lab.
Like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, in a lab with a white joint on. You know what I'm saying? Rubbing their hands together.
Yeah.
Then push the button.
Yeah.
Push the button.
No, those are the operators. So yeah, I quit my job at the shipyard because I ended up getting a new boss, and he was the world's worst micromanager.
Okay.
I had to share a cubicle with him.
Oh man, I bet that was awful.
And he had notifications set up on his computer for me.
You lying.
I'm not lying. You had to put in your badge to log in because it was high security, right?
Yeah.
When I would take my badge out, his computer would ding.
Shut your mouth.
So
I bet you felt like using
him
it.
out on it.
You had to. You probably like, man, I'm in jail. He probably was embarrassed.
And so I told HR, I was like, listen, if you can't find me a new group, like I'm going to leave this company.
I'm out.
So I went home and applied for like 40 jobs.
Really? Just sit down and went at them.
And one of them ended up being for a nuclear plant.
Okay.
Which, to be completely honest, I didn't take any electives on nuclear power in engineering school, so I had absolutely no idea how that worked. I'll keep it transparent.
Right.
We are going into my second interview. Me and Alex were driving up there because it's in Augusta, Georgia, and I'm moving from Mississippi. So I go up there, and I can see people call them cloud makers. But
Oh
they're
my
the
God.
cooling towers, you know, where you see that big
Yeah,
smoke
yeah,
come
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
It's just steam is all
Really?
it is. Yeah.
There's no chemicals in that joint?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm. It's all very well contained. There's so much to it. But I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I get on YouTube and watch how does nuclear power work real quick because I'm scared they're going to ask me questions. Turns out on the second interview, they just want to see if you're an actual real person, not crazy,
Right,
and
right.
will actually show up.
Yeah, and get the job
Yeah,
done.
so you had the job. But do you know how nuclear power
I
works?
don't. That's why I'm picturing you in your white suit. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So all it is there's a special type of thing on the periodic table.
okay, okay,
That thing splits atoms very well. Okay? When atoms split, it makes energy.
okay.
Energy makes heat.
Mm-hmm.
So all we're doing is a fancy way to heat water and make steam, and then that steam turns a turbine, and then that turbine connects to your electrical grid and gives us all power.
Wow.
That's all it is. It's just a fancy way to boil water.
Yeah.
It really is.
I like that though. I like that though. I like that though.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But it's way better for the environment. But I won't get on my soapbox.
Uh-oh.
But what I do, so what I used to do when I worked at that nuclear plant in Augusta was I was on the design team. So they weren't operating yet. They were still in the process of getting the plant up and running. So what I was doing was there's like 100 systems that make up a nuclear plant, maybe more than that. And I was helping turn over those systems from design to operations. So I was making sure, okay, we say we have X amount of equipment for this system. I'm going on the drawing to make sure I can find all those pieces of equipment. And then I'm also going out in the field and making sure they're all there. And if they're not, like, emergency timeout, we need to do something.
Yeah, gotta fix something.
Yeah. And then I would also be in charge of what they called plant health issues.
Okay.
And if there was something that just wasn't configured right, or say like an operator couldn't get to it, I had to figure out a solution, design a solution for them to get there without me spilling too much info. That's the gist of it.
Right. Well, let me ask you this though. So you know what I'm saying? So now when 2020 came, were you working there then? So I mean, did that affect? I'm about to ask, how was that? Did it affect y'all or?
It didn't, but I'm gonna tell you, management there was awful.
Really?
The CEO was awful, and most of my work I was doing was from my computer.
Wow.
But they were still making us. Most people lived an hour from the plant. You were driving an hour to get to the plant.
Dang.
Just to probably sit at your computer for 8 hours.
Right. It's something you can do at the house.
If I needed to be at the plant, I'd get that. But why couldn't I just drive up there that day?
Right.
The pay was not that great too in comparison to the nuclear industry. And then there was a mass exit from a lot of female engineers, and I was starting to panic. Is there something I don't know?
Well, I'm about to say, I mean, what reason for that?
I think there's a lot of harassment issues.
Oh, man.
I knew a couple guys, and a lot of the girls, I mean, if you work with engineers, most of them are nerds.
Yeah, right.
Shy.
Yeah.
Like they don't have the extroverted personality that I have.
Right.
And so I eventually looked to where they were all going. They were all going to General Electric. And so I was like, heck, I'll apply.
Right.
Got an interview.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And then, boom, got me a work-from-home job. And I was working with still a lot of my same coworkers from my previous
that's dope.
job. So now what I do is, to put it simple, if you want to build anything, there's regulations in place you have to follow. Like OSHA.
Right. Yeah.
Ladders have to be this tall. You can't climb that high without a harness, whatever. So building a nuclear plant, you guys can imagine there's a lot of codes and regulations that have to be met.
For sure.
I'm in charge of all of them for this new type of nuclear power plant they're designing. This is a micro reactor, so I think they say it's 90% smaller than your traditional reactors that you're used to seeing.
Dang.
Like
Your job to make.
That was It put out 1,000 megawatts of power.
Mm.
This one I'm helping with the design, so I'm not working for a power company anymore.
Okay.
We're selling to power companies.
Mm.
This one puts out 300 megawatts of power, so it's
Word?
smaller, you know.
Yeah. Wow, sir. So now, are you in love with it?
It pays my bills.
I get
and
it.
It lets
I
me
get
live a great lifestyle.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
I'm good at it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, work's work.
Yeah. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that.
Uh-huh.
I definitely. So though, man. So I want to, what I'm saying, tap onto this softball.
Mm-hmm.
So, so now you here in the LG. You know what I'm saying? So how did you get into this whole thing of lessons, dog? First of all, let me say something. I like your vibe. I like how you do it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I do. Let me say something too. I've been around a lot of instructors in my time of training,
Yeah.
right? But I like the way, I'm gonna say, Alex too. Big shouts out to him. I like the way you guys, the detail. You know what I'm saying? I love that, man.
Thank you so much.
I love that. I love the detail that you bring out, and you show the detail. So I love that. So tell me, how did you get into this whole thing of instructing?
Yeah, so when I was working in Augusta at the nuclear power plant, there's a big franchise. Some people might know it. That's called DBAT.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a softball and baseball commercial batting cage. I don't know if it's on the west side of the United States, but I definitely know it's big in the southeast.
Now, there's one local, not local, but one probably like
Peachtree,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So they were building one in that area, and I love D-back because I used to go there growing up and would go hit balls and stuff there. So I told Alex, like, maybe I should just apply for a part-time softball lesson gig and see if I get it. If I don't get it, who cares?
Right.
Because me and Alex actually met each other playing slow pitch softball, and that's a whole other story.
Oh, snap.
But I kind of lost my love for it. I had a bad experience with the team.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just quit playing a little bit. But I wanted to get back into it in a different way. So I was like, maybe I'll try coaching. I always wanted to be a teacher. I was good at teaching people. So let's just try it. I got it.
Yeah.
And I blew up at that place.
Shut your mouth.
And it was brand new, but like my books stayed busy. They don't pay very well because it is a franchise. So most of the money goes to the company and not you. So I was making $20 an hour.
Right.
Which you see how detailed I am.
Yeah.
I'm so
you put a lot of work.
About
Yeah.
it, and it didn't feel like work because I've played my whole life. So it's a type of knowledge that's just second nature to me.
Right.
And then I ended up getting the GE job, and it was a work from home job, so I wanted to move back home.
Okay,
My whole family's here. And so that's how I ended up moving here. And then I was telling Alex, like, I missed lessons.
Yeah.
He's like, screw it, just go out at a field and post and see if you get
And see what happens, yeah.
And I caught on. I've been here, it'll be 2 years in the fall. And it's funny because I thought, he'll tell you the story. I told him, I was like, if I could get 5 to 7 girls, throughout the week, that would be perfect.
Right.
I'm coaching 12 to 16 pitchers on a Monday.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, dog.
But like you said, I've had so many people compliment us on the detail that we give. My mentor is Carrie Foster now. She's Foster Fast Pitch. She's pretty big out in Birmingham, Alabama. She's, I don't know, the mother of internal rotation when it comes to pitching, which is a pitching style. And I paid to become one of her certified coaches.
Wow.
I wanted to learn.
You want that knowledge, yeah.
And I got to go to her house and learn from her, but that's one thing that she says is if you were taking your kid to the doctor, you would try to look up the best treatment possible for them. You would ask your friends, who's the best doctor in town, right? But I keep hearing all these sad stories since I moved here about how people have paid for lessons for 4 or 5 years. Their baby's got bad habits, and they recognize the crazy difference between that coach and us.
Right.
It's just like going through the motions and a cash grab versus
Training them.
yes.
Yeah.
Tell them what they're doing wrong and tell them why it's important to fix it. Right? Make them understand to the point where they have so much tools in their arsenal, then they can recognize, oh my gosh, I did that again.
Yeah.
I need to do this.
Yeah. And one thing that I like to pull out with my clients is, getting them to understand and feel their bodies. And I'm sure the same type vibe. Yeah. Because if you can feel it, am I worried? If you can feel it, you can change it.
Can you feel that?
Yeah.
No. Pay attention on this next one.
Yeah. Now for real. Because the same thing I tell my, my athletes is feel that movement. Feel the movement. When I say hip extension, I want you to really feel your hip extending. Feel it. Take it slow and feel it.
If you can feel it, you can fix it.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, my spiel was going, if you do such hard research for a great doctor for your child, why wouldn't you do the same hard research for giving your child one-on-one personal training for their athletic pursuits?
There we go.
Not saying I'm not the only great coach. I can't coach everybody. You can't coach everybody.
Right.
But do your research and find somebody not only that you feel like your child's personality clicks with that coach, but they also look up to them and really going to work for them.
That's it, man.
That's all you
That's
need.
it, man.
When you feel like they're growing, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
So, what made you come to the land of clockwork, though?
I don't know if you remember, but I messaged you probably when I first moved here.
Okay.
You probably don't because you're a busy guy. But I was in the midst of time change.
Okay.
So I moved in the fall of 2022. And I knew that it was going to get dark. So being at a field was great until it's getting dark at 5:30. I can only give, and I work during the day, so I can only give lessons from 4 to 5, and then I'm done.
Right.
And so I was like, okay. And people were telling me there's a building called Clockwork.
Let's go.
You should message him and see what he would charge.
Yeah.
And your prices were reasonable. It was just I didn't have the clientele at the time. And so I was like, I just can't swing that right now.
Right.
And so once I finally did get the clientele, and I spent me another spring, another summer, my first spring, my first summer actually.
Okay.
And then that's I think when I messaged you again was late summer, and I was summer's our busy season. I was so busy.
Okay.
And you were like, hey, let's sit down and work something out.
Yeah.
So we did, and now I'm here.
Here we go. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be here a year in August.
That's crazy, dog. Yo, go see. I'm gonna tell you, man. And it was important to me, man, to have trainers in here with the same type mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I get a lot of calls, a lot of us named. People want this, want that, but I'm particularly because, I want to make sure we put out the right product all the way around. You know what I mean?
Agree.
You feel me? Because I but I preach one-stop shop. So I want the same type of vibe that, the clock was built on, be built on with the softball and baseball and basketball and so forth, So, but y'all doing a heck of a job, dog. Y'all are, y'all be repping that thing, dog. So, okay, now, so in terms of training, okay, in terms of training, you know what I'm saying, what do you look for in a kid? When a kid come to you, what's the first thing you're dissecting on them?
Oh.
Give me that, dog.
It really depends. Are you here for hitting? Or are you here for pitching?
Give me a pitch first.
I've become a pitching guru, which is hilarious. It's a full circle moment for me because people talked me out of pitching and I doubted myself. And I still go through that self-doubt as a coach, but here I am trying to breathe life into these young pitchers. But as a pitcher, the first thing I do is I ask them, have you had a previous coach? Because there's two types of pitching styles in the world of softball. There's hello elbow, which I was taught.
Okay.
Which
give me that.
Most people are taught, right? So it basically means we'll turn this way.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
As you're coming through with your ball, instead of having it facing the catcher, they're having it facing away. And their arms are locked out, and you're kind of pushing the ball. And if you feel that, put your arm out like that. Push down on me with your elbow. Where do you feel that?
Yeah.
In your shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's hello elbow. The main difference for internal rotation is that I've got the ball facing this way. And I taught myself through Carrie Foster's videos.
Okay.
And then now I'm certified under her. So
Yeah.
I didn't learn this. I learned hello elbow. But the science and the biomechanics studies of pitching has come out big for softball. People are actually studying our sport.
There we go.
And so now we're making athletes healthier. They have better longevity. Their injury prevention is higher now because of this as a pitcher. So, and their speed and accuracy is through the roof.
Yeah.
This way. So all you do is you have the ball facing this way now.
Yep.
You think about having a soft elbow and letting your arm just put down. So now, like,
come on,
like
give me that, give me that.
Push down. You should feel it in your back.
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah. A lat pull. About the lat pull.
That's all it is. It's a movement that translates. So
I like that.
I asked if they had that. They had a hello elbow coach. Then I know, okay, I've got to show them some big key differences. And then I asked them too if they know how to spin. And it's crazy, Kane. The number one thing you should know how to do if you've had a previous pitching coach is tell me how to spin a pitch, especially just a fastball. That's your bread and butter first thing you learn.
Right.
And they can't even describe it to me.
Really?
Yeah. So I walk them through the basics of just, okay, this is how we spin a pitch. This is how you spin your fastball. This is how it works.
Yeah.
This is why you want this much rotation on the ball because it's going to help it get in there and get in there quick.
Because I'm liking now. I mean, because you got me thinking now. I'm liking that the lat leading the way. Because when you throw, that's what you want.
Strong back, strong pitcher.
Come on, man. Yo.
And you lift, I lift, Alex lifts. So I'm big on mind-muscle connection, and I never knew any of that stuff when I was a kid. So I try to get them to do movements to wake up things. When we pitch, we want to engage our back. So I make them do band pulls.
Good.
To feel that, right? As like a warm-up. When we pitch, we want to lead with our hips, not our chest.
Come on now.
So I make them do hip thrusts.
Yeah.
Because they squeeze your glutes.
Yeah.
They hear me. They know. Squeeze your cheeks.
Squeeze, right. Squeeze them joints.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's like one of my quotes. I keep telling me to make shirts.
Yeah. That's funny. You should, dog. You should, dog. To all the pictures, squeeze your cheeks, man. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is how long you been pitching? Did you have a previous coach? What style did you learn? Do you even know what style?
Right.
Show me how you spin a fastball. Talk to me about how you spin a fastball. And then we just kind of go from there.
Wow. That's so now, so like, okay, so if a kid come in, right, now do you find yourself, I know earlier you had talked about how you got talked out of, you know what I'm saying? Do you find yourself making sure some way, somehow, that they don't fall into that?
Yeah, my dad, so I had a phenomenal pitching coach growing up. I'm not sure if he taught me this harshly. It's so hard to remember. I mean, I was 15, 16 when I quit. Dad can't remember either. He came to all my lessons, but he did group lessons. Is the reason why I do group pitching lessons. But one thing I know he said was, being a pitching coach, you also have to be a therapist. These girls are so hard on themselves. They are perfectionists.
Wow.
Perfectionists. I feel like it's a girl thing. Me and Alex talk about it all the time because we have baseball players now too. We're trying to bleed more into the baseball community, and he said girls are just, they're perfectionists. They want to do it completely. If it's not right down the middle, they hate it.
But yeah.
And I'm like, it's still a strike, babe.
Yeah.
Or say they threw an awful pitch, but they swing and miss. I'm like, they still swung.
It's just right. Yeah.
Except the little things.
Yeah.
It's good still.
Yeah.
Quit beating yourself up.
Yeah. Well, see, but it's good that you went through that because now you can.
I can breathe life into
Come on now. Yeah.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part, though, is the parents. The parents will be, Coach Bill, is she in a slump?
She in a slump, right.
Do we need to quit?
Right.
And I tell them, I'm like, I promise you, I've told 3 people already before you're wasting your money. If I feel like you're wasting your money, I will let you know.
Yeah.
I try to let people know, like, I have a day job. I just do this because I love it.
Right.
I don't have to be doing it.
Right.
So.
Right.
That's the hard part, is trying to convince the parents that your baby is a baby. She's in 5th grade, 6th
Mm-hmm.
grade.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to graduate till she's 18. She's got 5, 6, 7 more years of pitching to do under her belt. She'll be just fine.
And that's crazy, dog. Now, I feel you because, like, you know, made the same conversation I have with parents with young kids. I said, hey, right now it's about developing. We're just developing right now. Now, when you get to high school, then the stuff start counting. But right now,
Correct.
man, just let them develop them. Like,
Correct.
don't trip out. Don't trip out. Like, come on, man. You know, he or she's only like in the 5th grade, like you said.
Well, and it's the thief of comparison, right?
For sure. For sure.
They see Molly Joe over there who's, you know,
Going
5'8"
crazy,
in
yeah.
6th grade. Of course she's throwing
Mm-hmm.
55 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But to throw 50 even at that age is rare.
Right.
So, and that's the other thing.
Uh-oh.
They are so hung up on speed.
Speed.
Throw harder, throw harder. But I'm trying to teach them, when you get to college, babe, watch the college pitchers. They can catch up eventually to a 70-mile-per-hour fastball.
Wow.
You know? You've got to learn how to throw that 50-mile-per-hour changeup.
Control that thing. Yeah.
Change speeds, spin that thing, rise ball, drop ball, keep it away from
Ooh. So at what age do you start incorporating different pitches, though?
Oh, it's not an age thing.
Mm.
It's all about what kind of
Where
work
they
you
at?
put in.
Yeah, we go. I like
Is your
that.
fastball consistent? Is your mechanics good? Time to learn a changeup.
Mm.
Is your fastball and changeup consistent? Your mechanics still look good? Time to learn a different pitch. I usually go to drop ball next.
Okay.
And then we'll go to like a side to side, so either a curve or a screw. And then we'll learn a rise ball too.
Wow.
And then also, of course, learning how to pinpoint location.
Location, that thing. So, yo, where do you think softball is headed, dog?
I think it's on the come up.
Yeah.
These girls are at such a good point in the sport. It is growing, and I love to see it. I had, you know, the tryout for my team that I volunteer coach on the weekends, and I swear like 3, 4, 5 other teams blossomed out of nowhere in the area. And, I mean, whether it's because they didn't make mine and they just want to start their own, it still feeds the sport.
For
Because
sure.
at the end of the day, you get it.
Yep.
It's a cycle of kids. These 12-year-olds will be gone in 5, 6 years, and there's going to be a whole new group of them.
Yep.
Every year somebody's signing up, and so we just keep feeding athletics, keep feeding the sport. I think softball's on the come up, especially too now with, what do you think about the transfer portal?
So, yo, let me tell you though, now the game done change because of that. It done changed a lot. To me, pros and cons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The pros because you get to.
If you're not happy.
Right. But the cons is.
Too much twitching up.
Come on, man. Like, you feel me? And then you give yourself the opportunity to compete. Because now I think a lot of kids are leaving for the sake of leaving.
Yeah.
Not because they're not happy. It's just because.
Better deal.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think, too, with the football and, you know, male athletics, they're starting to get.
Moolah.
Yeah,
They getting that thing.
As
Yep.
they should, though, because they're entertainers.
Right.
And why do the pros get the money, but college sports don't win?
Right.
Some people love college sports more than they love
pro sport. You know what I mean? But I just hope that it can get monitored better because I feel like right now, man, like people are jumping left and right to teams, like jumping left to right, man.
But yeah, between, you know, I feel like college softball's viewership is up. And, you know, a lot of people tell you, too, they enjoy it more than baseball because it's faster.
Yeah. Yo, we went to the SEC championship.
I saw that.
You did?
I saw it on, like, y'all's.
Oh, okay. You saw me on TV now? Like, okay. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Man, heck yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay, so my wife is a Tennessee alumni.
Okay.
So we was hoping that Tennessee was going to make
balls.
it. Yeah, you feel me? So we had bought the tickets because normally they make it because they balled, but they lost. But we still ended up pulling up, man. But it was good, dog. Like, it was good, man. Action, like I said, the action was there.
It's way quicker.
Yeah, way quicker, man. And then like now, man, now with social media, the women are turning up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're starting to get personality.
should.
Yeah, for sure. You starting to understand the personality. You starting to know people now. So I think that's good.
I think the biggest suffering in women's sports has been media.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
They don't advertise them as much as male sports. They don't hype us up on ESPN top 10.
Yep.
Like maybe one time we'll sneak in there.
Yep.
But as if they showed highlight reels and had sports announcers talking about us as crazy as they do for male athletics.
Oh my God.
It's just going to keep going like this.
Yep.
But yeah, now they have AU Athletes Unlimited for pro softball. And I think there's another pro softball league.
Oh, I didn't know that. So when did that?
I don't know when it started.
Dang.
But I follow a lot of them. Alicia Ocasio plays in that, and she's one of my favorite pitchers to watch.
Because I always wondered, man, because, you know, for softball, I felt like, well, I'm glad it's happening now because I felt like there was a ceiling. Like once a girl leaves college.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, too, I don't think they get paid very much in the sport itself, but there's a girl that plays for Texas Smoke who I love watching.
Yeah.
That's a pro team out of Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But she's getting so many brand deals.
Mm.
You know, she's got a glove sponsorship, batting glove sponsorship, energy drinks, shades.
Oh, she's doing good. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Different types of trainer bats.
Oh, my God.
So I think that's where the real money is being made.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, too, your name's out there as a pro athlete. And if you give lessons, you can charge way more than I do.
Yep. Oh, she's pro. So, yo, but what made you want to start your own program, your own travel program?
I got talked into it.
Okay. Oh, man. I'll wait for something like, Coach, you know, I'll wait for good time.
I'll give a big shout out right now.
Okay.
Shout out to my cousin, Kaylee Hester.
Shout out, Kaylee.
She is a PA in the area.
Okay.
But her daughter, who is also my flower girl,
Okay.
is a softball player. She's the only other one in my family.
Oh, man.
Other than me. And she told me about how the team that she was previously on fell apart. And this was the fall when I moved here. And she was like, Melissa, please. I was like, you've lost your mind. I was like, I have way too much on my plate. Look at me now. I love it, too.
Love it, huh?
Those girls are like my children.
Yeah. And that's big, man, because at the end of the day, man, they gonna remember you forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel I'm preparing them for so much more than the sport itself. Because I saw a post the other day, I shared it on my story, my business page's story, about how youth coaches need to recognize that collegiate dream is fun, but to be realistic, maybe only a handful will make it.
Right.
If you're coaching a youth team, there might be a few of them that actually make it and want to play all the way to the college level.
Yeah.
So you need to be preparing them for more than winning all the time and thinking, yeah, you're going to get it.
No, I dig that.
Can you accept failure? Can you sacrifice yourself for the greater good of the team? Can you pick somebody up? Can you recognize somebody's having a bad day? That's one thing I'm really big on is empathy.
Okay.
Empathy is huge. Girls at this age are all going through puberty.
Oh, man.
We got the 11, 12, 13-year-olds.
Yep.
And one thing I'm trying to teach them is maybe your teammate's not being mean. Maybe she had a bad day. Can you recognize that? Why don't you try to pick her up? Ask her what's going on.
That's good. That's good, dog. That's good. Because, you know, because, like, honestly, you know, I think that's missing in terms of
youth sports.
Yeah, youth sports, man. You know,
win.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, don't get me wrong, man. I like to win like everybody else. Don't get me wrong, man. But being able to deal with that type of stuff is I think is at first, especially in youth sport outweighs the W's.
Yep.
You know
And like you were saying earlier, it's about development.
Yeah.
And if you develop them correctly, the wins will come, and the wins will feel that much sweeter because you know they worked for it.
But see, I'm gonna tell you what it is, though. You know what I mean? But that's something that parents got to learn too.
Yep.
You know,
That's
I know.
the hard part.
But I know the parents want them W's. They want them, and I get it.
They want their baby to feel confident.
Yeah.
And they never want their baby to fail.
Right.
They're the ones. I get it. You're the one that has to be in the car ride home with them after a tough loss.
Yep.
But you learn so much more from failure. And we had a rough fall. You know, we lost a few people.
Okay.
Just from
travel life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we picked up a few new faces going into spring, and you know, I went into it with my expectations on the floor.
Okay.
The girls come out their first 3 tournaments and win a ring.
What the? You probably like, whoa.
What is happening?
Yeah, what just took place?
I was incredibly proud of them.
Wow.
Incredibly proud of them. And then they've had 2 tough loss tournaments where they lost by 1 run to like the top seed to go to the championship, which I was just proud of them playing the top seed and having them beat most of the game.
Yeah.
We lost to a bad call, if you want my opinion.
Come on now.
But I'll keep it chill with the Blues. I'll probably have to see him again, and I don't want him to have him on my bad side.
Right.
And then most recently, they couldn't hit in a clutch
Dang.
situation. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I see their faces and how tough it is on them, and I'm like, I love how much they want it more.
Right.
Because of that.
Cause yeah.
That's the stuff that teaches you more,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. I hate watching it too. I hate being a part of it.
But like I said, you learn so much from it, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You learn so much from it.
Resiliency.
Right.
Can you be resilient?
Come on, man.
And
Can you
not
keep
just
going?
lay down
Yeah.
and take another loss.
Mm-hmm.
How bad are you going to fight that next tournament?
I love
not
every bit
feel
of
that
that.
way
Right. So look, let me ask you this though, right? So when you know how you separate the two. Feel me for a second, right?
Okay.
So if a kid come in, right, and training, how you say, dang, that kid didn't be on my travel team. Yeah. How you separate the two? Be like, nah, I'm just focused on this kid training. I'm not even gonna try to put him on a.
Well, I'll be completely honest. There's a lot of people that say I played favoritism for my team because majority of my team were kids that take lessons with me.
Okay.
But to be completely fair, I'm doing this for free. I can pick who I want.
Right.
And
Word.
I have a way better idea of what that kid is capable of outside of a 3-hour tryout because I've spent 30 plus hours with them.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I know how they work at home because they're the type of kid that has my phone number and will ask me, Coach Bill, what am I doing wrong? And it's a video of them hitting off the tee at the house.
Oh, man, come on.
That's the kind of stuff I can't teach.
Right.
And that's the kind of kid I want.
Yeah. No doubt.
That's a kid that's hungry.
Dang, that's big, though, dog.
But it is hard because there's a lot that do come to lessons with me that didn't make it.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, like, for those who do lessons, be like...
I am a crybaby. Don't let me fool you.
Uh-oh.
Okay? And poor Alex, he's the one that has to deal with it. So when I had to text people, that they didn't make it, that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Because you want everybody to make it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, people were like, Coach Bill, you have enough to make 3 teams.
And, I mean, 3 more headaches, though.
If you're playing travel ball, your mindset is that you want to play at the next level. If you don't have that kind of hunger, that kind of obsession, just play rec ball and school ball.
Yeah, I like that.
You have to be obsessed. Do you wake up and want to go to practice? Do you want to be like, I'm going to put in 10 minutes pitching today?
But you know what's crazy though, and I think that is what has went wrong. I think a lot of people playing travel ball for a second, just playing travel ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's the thing. And I wonder if it's because COVID was like the death of rec sports.
I'm trying to think it is, dog.
Because then there's nobody signing up for rec anymore, so people are like, I'll just start a team.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. I think everybody think that, and it's partly true, you got to play travel in order to compete in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But what about the development phase?
Right.
You know how many people I played college ball with that didn't start playing softball until they were like 13?
See. So let me tell you something. In the perfect world, dog, you know I would want perfect world in terms of clockwork. Man, I would love to have. It's gonna be like that too. So we're talking about development, right? So I would love to have, like, for example, your squad. You know what I'm saying, going through development, your squad going through clockwork, and all that go together to produce that development I'm talking about. You feel me?
Oh, I've already been thinking about how when we're in, like, our off season, so they play softball over here in Georgia in the fall, which is strange to me. But so once I guess they're done with school ball and we're done with playing a few travel tournaments in the fall, they have an off time, basically like January, February. And I was like, I would love to get them in.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Like, just them with an agility class. Like, I don't know if you cut me a deal.
I got your back, dog. I got your back.
I've started to incorporate that myself as much as I could with ladders and doing the workouts. But you don't have the time to develop their athleticism. Because I've watched it increase on their defense, their footwork and stuff. And some of them, too, just struggle with actual running form. It's bad.
Yo, you be surprised, though.
No, it's an epidemic.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
These
No
kids
doubt.
don't know how to push off their toes.
No doubt.
They run flat-footed.
And you be surprised how many
They
kids.
don't pump their arms right.
Well, I'm about to say how many kids. It's funny because I see it on TikTok now, because TikTok's a little trend going on where they're doing same arm, same leg.
Oh, yeah.
You be surprised how many kids come in doing same arm, same leg off the muscle.
Dead serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, if one thing I could give to people is comparison is the thief of joy, and your baby might learn at a different pace.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids are just born different or come out the womb athletic, and some don't, but they can be developed to that point.
That's right.
Give your child time.
Give them time to get right.
Give them time.
Give them time to get right.
They're still so young.
Yep.
I will keep saying that even when they're 15,
Right.
16.
Right.
They're
Give
still
them time.
so young.
Give them time. Yeah. Nah, no doubt. No doubt.
But yeah, I would really love to do that because
Man, let's put that
some
together.
of these schools over here, I won't comment on which ones, don't let the girls' athletics lift.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. So now, I can't say this. In the last probably 2 years, it been getting better.
Good.
It been getting better.
It's the old school mindset.
Yeah, old school mindset. Yeah.
And
It's been getting better.
And I'm big on, if you want that D1 1%er dream, you need to start lifting in middle school.
You got to weight room it. Yeah.
You need to start lifting in middle school.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's out in big cities in California and going to all the big camps. And showcases.
Yep.
They're
no
grinding
doubt.
every day with not just doing softball skills. They're lifting. They're doing agilities.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, and I want parents to understand that it take all of that.
It does.
You know what I'm saying, to develop. You know, it take lessons. It take them playing travel, and it take them being in this weight room. It take all that. You know what I'm saying, for you to get the extra edge.
You know how many people are like, what can I do to get her faster? Talking about like pitching speed.
Yeah.
But if their form is phenomenal, if it's elite, but where's her muscle?
What's a muscle at? Yeah.
I like time to put on some size, baby.
Come on now, gym time, gym time.
Yeah.
So Coach, man, check this out, man. At the end of every show, dog, I always give my my guests opportunity to look in that camera and drop some positive, you know what I mean, golden gem, diamond gem to the people, man.
Okay. Coach Bill will do her famous one right here. Progress.
Yeah.
Not perfection. Give your babies time. As long as they're getting better than yesterday, that's all you can hope for as a parent. Right?
I love it.
Keep grinding.
I love it.
Keep getting to work.
Come on now. Yo, listen, man. Y'all got to reach out to Coach Bill and Coach Alex if you got to look for any type of lesson. I'm telling you now, they're in Atlanta clockwork. You know what I mean? So, I put my stamp on it, baby. They do what they do, man. So, yo, give them some your Instagram, all that type stuff.
Okay. Our Instagram is Game with Gliddon, and then you can find us on Facebook, Coach Bill and Alex's softball and baseball lessons. Can't miss us. I look forward to hearing from some new folks.
And y'all know what it is, baby. Zip them up.
Zip 'em up.